is Radio Romania International. You are listening to our one-hour broadcast in English for listeners in Western Europe and Japan. We can also be heard on the internet at www.rri.ro Channel 1. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter and other social media platforms. Our programs are also available on TuneIn and via satellite Eutelsat 16A on 11,512 MHz vertical polarization, azimuth 16 degrees east. Symbol rate 29,950 mega symbols per second, standard DVB-S2, modulation 8 PSK, audio PID 510. We wish you good reception conditions.
I'm Cristina Mateescu with the news. First, the headlines. Romania reported almost 29,000 new COVID cases on Saturday. 2021 saw a rise in the number of migrants trying to cross illegally into Romania from the south from Bulgaria. And Romania defeated Russia in the Rugby Europe Championship. Romania reported almost 29,000 new COVID cases on Saturday, as well as 110 related fatalities, including 2 from an earlier date. The positive rate hit 32.5, while the fortnightly incidence rate in Bucharest passed 28 cases per 1,000 inhabitants, the highest to date. The Health Ministry official Adriana Pistol says the reproduction number has decreased, but that there will still be rises in the number of infections. She said Romania adopted the EU rule according to which the validity of the COVID certificate for travel within the EU is 9 months without the booster shot. In Romania, the COVID certificate for travellers who have had the booster shot is valid until the end of the year, with the EU yet to make a decision in this regard. When entering Romania, unvaccinated travellers must produce a negative COVID test result valid for 72 hours or proof of recovery from infection in the last 180 days. 2021 saw an increase in the number of migrants trying to cross illegally into Romania from Bulgaria in the south. Most migrants came from Syria, Turkey and Afghanistan. Illegal arrivals grew by 280% compared with 2020, amid restrictions to fight the COVID pandemic. According to the regional border police, the migrants' guides came from countries like Turkey, Greece and Bulgaria, as well as Romania. NATO must find a replacement for its Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg, whose term is coming to an end on the 1st of October, when he is due to take over as governor of the Central Bank of Norway. According to DPA news agency, there is no obvious successor to Stoltenberg, but the former British Prime Minister Theresa May, Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte, Estonian Prime Minister Kaja Kallas, former EU Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini, and Romanian President Klaus Iohannis have been mentioned as possible candidates to replace Stoltenberg. A decision from the 30 NATO member states is expected at the NATO summit in June at the latest. In a press conference on Friday, Jens Stoltenberg promised to remain fully committed to NATO until his term ends. Mihai Chirică, the Liberal mayor of Iași, Romania's second-largest city, was indicted for fraud and instigation to usurpation of office. He is under investigation together with the former Social Democrat Deputy Mayor Gabriel Harabagiu for initiating and signing documents for the building of an apartment block that was built and registered illegally. The Save Romania Union in opposition called on the Liberal Party to sack Chirică as soon as possible and for early local elections to be held. Romania may sign an agreement with the neighbouring Serbia by the end of March on the construction of a motorway between the western Romanian city of Timișoara and the Serbian capital Belgrade. The announcement was made by the Romanian Transport Minister Sorin Grindeanu after talks with the Serbian side. The value of the feasibility study is around 2.8 million euros and is 85% financed by European funds. The duration of the contract for the feasibility study is 32 months. Romania defeated Russia on Saturday at home 34-25 in their first match in the Rugby Europe Championship, the second most important continental competition after the Six Nations Championship. The match also counts towards the qualification for the World Cup to be hosted by France, with the sides finishing in the top two positions in the 2021 and 2022 editions of the Rugby Europe Championship to go straight to the final tournament, and the third-ranked side to go into playoffs. After their win against Russia, Romania consolidated their second-place position after Georgia. Romania will next be playing Portugal again at home. The Romanian swimmer Avram Iancu won the World Open Water Swimming Performance of the Year award. Last year, he swam 26 kilometers upstream on the Danube River, finishing in 18 hours and a half. He is the first Romanian to win this award. In the last 8 years, he also swam across the English Channel without wearing a wetsuit, swam the length of the Danube from its spring to its mouth in the Danube Delta, and set several endurance records. And now a quick look at the weather. The weather remains warm for this time of the year, with highs of 1 to 12 degrees Celsius and scattered snow in the mountains. And that was the news.